More on the intricacies of the deal with Joel Sherman with us this morning, leading the league. Good morning, Joel. 11 years and 333 and change for Devers.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the public reason, the publicly believed reason for this. It almost feels like shame, right? They traded Mookie Betts. They have pretty much nothing to show for it beyond Alex Verdugo. They let the very popular and two-time champion Xander Bogaerts go through free agency after making not very competitive bids, especially last offseason for him. The owner of the team, John Henry, was booed at the Winter Classic at Fenway Park on Monday. And 48 hours later, we have the longest deal in the history of the Boston Red Sox. What the Boston Red Sox would say is they were waiting for somebody who is in their age range and worth it to do it long term. You pointed out he's only through his age 25 season at this point. And just to put into some context where he is through his age 25 season, right? We're talking about a guy who has 139 homers. That's one less than Al Kaline through age 25. 124 OPS plus, the same as Duke Snider through age 25. Over the last 4 seasons, 264 extra base hits. That's 16 more than anyone else. They see this guy as a bat that will be able to extend a long time. And think about the age here also. An 11-year contract by San Diego for Xander Bogaerts takes him through age 40. An 11-year contract for Devers takes him through his age 36 season, a season where I imagine they think he'll still be a productive player, they hope, in the form of, say, like David Ortiz. I think part of this contract, the value of it is how long can he stay at third base? I think you could show some metrics here where you'll see Devers has played third base a little bit better last year. Now, I still think if they had a third baseman to put in there, he'd already be their first baseman or their DH. But I think the Red Sox like that this is a hard worker. He even has tried to improve his defense. I think they think there's budding leadership skills there. This is a player they signed at 16 out of the Dominican Republic. They feel real attachment to him. And at some point, they needed to kind of stand up and say, who's our guy? It clearly wasn't Betts. It clearly wasn't Bogaerts. This is their guy.
You know, the other thing, too, Joel, I mean, all those things you said, spot on, no doubt about it. But this was market value. This is where we're at. And, you know, I heard somebody say it was a team, he took a team discount. $331 million is $331 million.
That was a team,
what it is.
The opposite of a discount, because the Red Sox, for all the reasons you mentioned, Joel, had to do it. And here's a comp I have for you. See if there's any meat on this bone. The Red Sox are hoping that Devers at this stage of his career, and because he signed so young and has been a homegrown guy, the position he plays, the country that he comes from, they think he's on this Adrian Beltre type trajectory, right? Similar skill sets. The difference, I would say, is this. Adrian Beltre didn't strike out. There is strikeout in Rafi Devers' game. It's okay by the standards of today's game, but how is this guy's game going to age when he's in years 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of this mega deal?
Yeah, I would say I hear your comp there. I think Adrian Beltre, I think he's on the Hall of Fame ballot next year, is probably going to go in as a first ballot Hall of Famer, not only because he got to some key benchmarks along the way as a hitter, but I think you could argue is one of the best defensive third basemen in the history of the game. And Devers clearly isn't that. As I'll repeat, he is signed for his offense. Clearly, he's been, you know, especially these last 3-4 seasons where he's really come into his bat, one of the best performers in the sport. But he is at some point during this contract, and the question is that 2 years from now, 4 years from now, he's going to be a first baseman DH. You know, he has greater value if he can handle third base at least as an average player. So I think there's that, and I don't think you can ignore the age. But the Red Sox, in a way, let's not forget, did ignore the age because they thought they were at a different point. They hired Chaim Bloom after Dave Dombrowski to try to see if they could get their payroll under control, get good prospects, and then try to do something sustained for a while. Mookie Betts was in the same situation at basically the same age a couple of years ago. He was entering his walk year like Devers would have been, and they decided to trade him instead of see if they can retain him. In this situation, I think they feel people like Marcelo Mayer, Nick York, Tristan Cassis, some of their better prospects are ready to kind of break through, and that the prime of Devers' career will match up with the beginning of these guys' career, and that they'll be able to do something sustained. The Red Sox have finished last 2 of the last 3 years. They've finished last 5 of the last 12. and they've interspersed 2 championships in that 12-year period. They've been a very inconsistent organization. What Chaim Bloom has been trying to do here is see if they can get great and stay great, and I think the age of Devers lines up to that.
So where do you have the Red Sox now in the pecking order of the AL East? Does this do anything to change how you feel about Boston?
Not much, Matty, and it's because what they added was good vibes, not a player. They had Devers yesterday, they have him today, they had him for the season. This is the question I would ask you and Harold. If we were doing a dispersal draft of their roster, their major league roster right now, and I had the first pick and I had Devers, who's the second pick to try to just win in 2023? Who would you take? Who's the next best guy on the team to just try to win in 2023?
Good question.
No, it's really good.
Like,
really
that's
good.
an easy answer for teams like the Rays, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, even the Orioles.
And if that second or first guy isn't a pitcher,
yeah.
you're in major trouble.
It might be Garrett Whitlock, who's a swing guy. I looked at their roster yesterday, and I thought to myself, they'd be much better off if it was 2018 instead of 2023, right? 2018, you'd have Corey Kluber, Chris Sale, and James Paxton as your top 3 starters. That'd be great in 2018. Is it good in 2023? The 2018 Dodgers, it was great. They won their division easy with Enrique Hernandez, Kenley Jansen, and Justin Turner. Like, is that going to be good in 2023? The best year of Trevor Story's career was 2018. The problem is it's going to be 2023, and I believe strongly in Devers. Who else do I believe in on a roster in by far the toughest division, top to bottom in the sport?
Boy, that's great food for thought on a huge number for, yes, a really great player.